everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello from hell.
Anyway, battle boyfriends.
I'm gonna apologize in advance for the next episode.
Oh.
Remember how we said that, Death Twins Part 2 was our line in the sand, and we weren't gonna have an episode?
It probably won't be longer.
I don't know about that. It's gonna be over 2 hours, that's for goddamn sure. It's not done yet, so we don't know how long it is. We're feeling normal.
Here's the thing. As we've gotten to Season 3, and as we've gotten most of the way through Season 3, we're realizing that, the amount of content that we need to put in each episode makes the episode so long. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, next week will be fun. Warning you in advance.
Also, check the motherfucking content warnings.
Yeah.
Next episode, there's some messed up stuff going on.
Yeah. Just saying that at the top, gonna say it again at the end. Somebody in the chat said, OMG, Barry haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, I got my haircut, and I actually paid for somebody who knows how to trim a beard to trim my beard, so I don't look Amish anymore. It's nice.
God.
Okay, episode playlist. Oh, wait.
Announcement at the top. Still doing a giveaway for the little keychains on our Twitter once we hit 300 followers.
Feast up under the keyboard. Hold on. She's trapped. Free her.
Oh, no. Free her. Yeah. Show off the keychains. Yeah. Tell your friends. Win a keychain.
Yep, we have 3 of each of these, so...
Yes. Very exciting. Anyway. Episode playlist. Starts with Tell Me How by Paramore. This was a Sabine song. You want to take it, bud?
Yeah. The first 2 songs are both Paramore songs, and there's one for each of the Javarises. So Tell Me How is Sabine's. Oh, God.
Sorry, yawning. Ooh. There's so much.
Yeah, there's so much. Tell Me How to Feel About You Now. Oh, Let Me Know. Do I Suffocate or Let Go is the chorus. You keep me up with your silence, take me down with your quiet. Of all the weapons you fight with, your silence is the most violent. It's basically about losing someone and having that person resent you and not knowing how to feel about it, which is very much the space that Sabine and Sid are in right now, where she never stopped trying to find him and she never stopped trying to help him, but he resents her a lot for not saving him from what happened to him.
Yeah, which we saw.
Yeah.
Oh, which we saw, and which we will continue to see. I think I'm tired of getting over it and just starting something new again. I'm getting sick of the beginnings. What?
I know you think that I erased you. You may hate me, but I can't hate you. Sabine's having a bad couple episodes. And then the Sid Paramore song was...
It's so teenage angst.
Well, because it's off of Riot.
Yeah.
It's the opening track off of Riot. It's for a pessimist, I'm pretty optimistic.
Yes.
Yeah, just the chorus, that I never wanted to say this, you never wanted to stay. I put my faith in you, so much faith, and then you just threw it away.
God. The lyrics all fit, but what really makes it is that it is so teenage angst.
Yeah.
Sid Eladan is so...
and he has earned every ounce of his teenage angst. He has, but
I would never minimize his trauma. I'm just saying.
But also, if I could draw, I would make art of Sid in his Hierophant's robes doing the, scene kid crying on the picture.
Yeah, exactly. I would never minimize the boy's trauma, but it is very funny that he is so angst-ridden and so 15. That's all. He's so 15 years old.
Which, is hideous when you think about everything.
Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's bad that Sid is this young, but it's, also very funny that he is so 15 years old and also has killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Just talk yourself up and tear yourself down. You've hit your one wall, now find a way around. Well, what's the problem? You've got a lot of nerve.
Ooh.
Woof.
So what did you think I would say? No, you can't run away. No, you can't run away. He's so He's so teenager. Yeah, somebody in the chat said he is absolutely edgy, but by choice, not by trauma, you know?
I don't know, I think the trauma's made it pretty edgy.
The trauma is... the trauma is definitely part of it, but also he is such... I think if he had not been as traumatized as he is, he would have still been an edgelord, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's one of those people that uses the fact that he's traumatized as an excuse to be edgy. You know?
And like, you can't
and
really
I love that about him.
Yeah, and you can't really fault him for it.
Oh no, absolutely not.
But also, like, shut up, go back to math class.
Exactly. Like, it's that one clip of the Quentin Reviews video. I think you should get back to math class. Yeah. Oh god, our next
Speaking of edgelords. Speaking of edgelords. It's a Leo song.
Our next song was the acoustic version of Passing Through a Screen Door by the Wonder Years.
Surprise, surprise.
We've been waiting to pull the trigger on this one for like months. Every week we do an episode playlist and Barry goes, is it time for Passing Through a Screen Door? And it has not been yet.
But it was finally time this week.
Go.
Well, the Highway 1, I'm listening to Traffic Reports 1-on-1, Coming Quietly Undone. I was born to run away from anything good, an escape artist's son, sun-drenched pavement in my blood. The first thing that I do when I walk in is find a way out for when shit gets bad. And I've been looking for tears in the screen door. I've been waiting for another disaster. Well, I'm terrified like a kid in the 60s, staring at the sky, waiting for the bomb to fall, and it's all a lie what they say about stability. It scares me sometimes, the emptiness I see in my eyes, and all the kids' names I've ever liked are tied to tragedy, and I don't want my children growing up to be anything like me. Yeah, this was related to...
Leo's general mental state.
Here, you can scoot over your blocked... Yeah, it was partially related to the whole 83% joke that we've been writing for the last couple weeks that sent Leo and Zed into a mutual panic. That's that I don't want my children growing up to be anything like me line. That's where that was coming from. Yeah. But it was also really related to his conversation with Talindra about how he kind of had to confront... I mean, in a way, he has been confronting his own escapism and his own self-sabotage, throughout his character arc. Yeah. But I think Talindra calling him on the carpet like that and being like, no, you don't get to hide up here and spiral. Like, there are people that need you. Like, you are the only person that can do this job right now. I think that was kind of a crystallization of what we've been building to with Leo's character art. Mm-hmm. It was very good. Delicious. Yeah. He's having a rough time, but also he is slowly but surely forged by fire, becoming a better person. What? He's just going to be kicking and screaming the whole time. It's very interesting trying to, distill down and hammer home, the endpoints of Leo and Fee's, especially Leo and Fee's, but everybody's really character arcs at the end of the season. And this was one of those moments, both for Leo and Talindra, of, I loved that scene because I think it's been really interesting to see how... Leo and Talindra aren't besties by a long shot, but I mean, if we think back to when they first interacted with each other and how antagonistic it was, I think that, I don't know if I could say that they're friends, but I think they've both developed a really healthy respect for each other. Yeah. Because I think if Talindra didn't respect Leo, she wouldn't have said those things to him. She would have just told him he was an asshole and not engaged with him. Yeah, and I think this is kind of... This conversation was, the end point of a lot of what we've been building with Talindra in the background of, because of the trauma that she has done a lot of running away and hiding, and she has isolated her son because of her own fear, and, she's been overprotective, and she's been hiding for a very long time, and I think this is the point where we see her like that point of well, I'll just go take my own advice, won't I? Is very much she is choosing to, in a big way, re-enter the world. Yeah, and I mean, we saw
Yeah.
that with like Celica's moments in this this episode too, of like same trauma, similar
Yeah.
self-isolation. Like,
Yeah, we didn't get as much of Celica. But
yeah, but the fact that like the times we see Celica, she's like sitting down talking to Adana, like striking up a conversation. Like I thought that was nice.
Like,
yeah,
yeah, and Celica's had less of the self-isolation. I can't fucking speak, because like we did hear about like Celica getting out there and being pragmatic and getting done what needs to be done, because that is kind of her role.
Well, and she had several sugar mamas when they were living in Qatar.
Yeah, that was good. But like she very much has been the person that buckles down and gets it done, and I think this was very much the end point of specifically Talindra's self-isolation tendencies.
Neither of us can say the word isolation today. I started doing it too. Isolation. Okay.
Isolation. Ooh.
But yeah, so passing through a screen door. Glad we got to pull the trigger on it. We've been waiting for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Take it.
Why do I have to take it? Okay.
The next song was How to Return Home by Natalie Wise. It's on the Sabine, but it's all musical theater patron playlist. If you subscribe to Patreon at the $3 level. And it's hideous.
Like, literally, I can't listen to this song without tearing up now. I played myself.
Oh.
This is all related to the whole thing with the Magnificent Mansion.
Yeah, which we'll elaborate on later.
Yeah, because we got a question about it.
Yep.
Yeah, you're barefoot sliding on the old wooden floorboards, home just as you left it, but still you're shaken. Like walking into a museum somehow out of time. It's all the same except the girl in the hallway, where she's been and who she will ripen into. Your childhood's on the other side of a sprawling divide, too wide. Take a silent breath, hold in the change, tell yourself you still live here. Take your bags upstairs, it's the only way you'll get through today. Count the hours, take a shower, wash yourself away. God.
It's Sabine. Sabine.
Take your bags upstairs, put away your clothes, take it nice and slow, be their daughter, nothing's harder when nobody knows how to return home. Oh God, the second verse, the house is pulsing with an alien heartbeat. Was it always here, but you never listened? It's calling you to be the girl that you were way back then again. It's, yeah.
I think of Sabine. I start crying. We're gonna talk. Somebody in the chat said, "Oh, this song breaks me." Actually, like, wow, ouch. Yeah, yeah.
I feel. I feel. Is all I have to say is I feel.
And then we put "Hiding" by Florence the Machine on here as a feel song. I think you hide when all the world's asleep and tired. You cry a little, so do I, so do I. I think you hide and you don't have to tell me why. You cry a little, so do I, so do I. Up all night again this week, breaking things that I should keep. You don't have to let me in. Just know that I'm still here. I'm ready for you whenever you need, whenever you want to begin. It's a lot.
I think of Sabine. I think of Sabine. I think of Sabine.
I think of Sabine. I think of Sabine. I stare into the abyss. And then our closing track was Twin Skeletons by Fall Out Boy as a combat song for the Battle Boy.
We have a combat. We have to put a Fall Out Boy song in. It's a rule at this point.
God.
But also, like, the lyrics of this were really good for Leoza too. They keep making trouble till you find what you love. I need a new partner in crime. Like, yeah.
And honey, I only appeared so I can fade away. I want to throw my hands in the air and scream, and I can just die laughing on your spiral of shame.
Yeah. There's a room in a hotel in New York City that shares our fate and deserves our pity. I don't want to remember it all. The promises I made if you just hold on. Yeah.
Anyway, it was good for the Battle Boy friends. It's the base of it all.
It was good. It was good.
It was good.
So, yeah, that's the playlist. Let's get into the questions.
So somebody in the chat when we were talking about hiding said, "Oh, this for the fecule," cries, sobs in your shirt. And then I need to remember that she's happier now, but also I trip and fall on my face.
Is she happier?
Not this episode.
Not this episode.
Not this fucking episode.
Oh,
I think of Sabine. Okay. Let's get into our questions. Our first question was, talk about my bestie Sabine. She's been breaking my heart.
Same.
Same.
We told you guys that Sabine was going to be going through it.
Yeah.
And she is, in fact, going through it.
Yeah, it's... I think... I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I think she told herself that she intended to tell Fee and the captain about Sid and about everything that happened and to go into it more. Eventually. But, like, it was something that she kept putting off, and that I think in the back of her head she was thinking, oh, I can just handle this by myself. And, like, no, the fuck she can't.
Yeah.
But I think she has had so much trouble letting people in since what happened to her family, and since, like, specifically, like, Defiance was her best friend, if not anything more than that.
Yeah.
And she sold out her parents and got them killed, and several of her siblings.
A bunch of her siblings killed.
Yeah, and might have, for all she knows, personally killed at least one of her siblings.
Yeah.
Like,
and she'll never know.
And she'll never know.
Yeah.
Like, she has no way of knowing. Like, I think it's something that is going to haunt Sabine until the day she dies, honestly. And I think that makes it very hard for her to let people in since. And I think that and how many of the people she grew up around immediately turned on her did some real fucking damage to her ability to trust people. And I think we saw it in how willing she was to believe that the captain had betrayed her. And then she went home and it got hammered in that Defiance had also betrayed her. And, like, it's...
I think the reason that she and Fee were such a slow burn at first was because she was like, nope.
And Fee was also not trusting. Like, I think that's something that the two of them have in common that affected their relationship at the beginning.
Yeah, where it was just like they understood that the attraction was there and they understood that they cared about each other, but they were both so guarded because they were so scared of getting screwed over. Like,
yeah, and they weren't wrong to feel that. Like, trauma is what it is, but I think it all has culminated for Sabine in the beginning of the season with her big fight with Fee, and now in the fact that she could not tell Fee and the captain the full extent of everything that happened to her family.
She was about to when Sid showed up.
She was about to when Sid showed up because she was at the fucking last possible moment to do it. Like, that, I think that says something about Sabine's mental state, is like, she could have told them at any point, and she chose not to, even knowing they were going here, even knowing it was going to blow up in her face. And, like, she chose not to until the exact moment where it was like, okay, I need to say something or it could result in my little brother getting killed.
Yeah.
Like, I think it says something about Sabine that, like, she waited to tell them the full extent of everything until it was literally make or break.
Yeah.
And, like, I think it says something about how much what happened to Sid fucks with her.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and just what happened, everything that went on with the Beacon Schism in general.
Family, yeah. Absolutely. Everything that happened with the Beacon Schism. But, like, I think specifically, what happened as a direct result of her deciding to trust Defiance in the moments when her fucking house was burning down are things that specifically are going to haunt Sabine for the rest of her life. Like, she doesn't know what could have happened to the, like, youngest of her siblings that died, and she trusted Defiance to get Sid to safety, and then Sid was inducted into the priesthood and forced to kill hundreds of people.
Yeah, because the one that was a little bit older than Sid that died was Ashrin, right? Was the next to youngest one?
Yeah, I think Ashrin was the next to youngest. I'd have to look at the document that we have of them, but like, yeah, like,
because Ashrin was like 13.
Yeah, 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think that specific thing has haunted Sabine for so long, and the fact that Sid resents her for it has haunted her for so long that, like, she couldn't physically talk about it for so long, and, like, the closest she got was vague allusions to Fee back in season 2 of, like, something worse than death happened to my youngest brother. Like, it is something that I think has been the center of a lot of her walls and a lot of her inability to talk about things, and now it's out in the open and everybody knows,
and they're dealing with it in a very up close and personal way. And also Sid, like, openly resents her, like, openly resents her for what happened to him. And, like, that's when you consider how long that she has spent trying to make things right and trying to help him and trying to protect him, and, like, he is coming at her with a lot of vitriol, honestly. Like, it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, and, like, I think last episode was the first time she was faced with, like, the gravity of what Sid was being forced to do.
Because she didn't know.
Like, she didn't know. She knew he was part of the priesthood. She knew it was fucking with him. She knew it was making him bitter and resentful and terrible. But, like,
the murder hole. The ghost hole.
She found out about the murder hole last episode. And I think the fact that she is facing that at the same time that she is facing her loved ones finding out about everything and about the things that she carries a lot of guilt for is, like, I think it's really fucking with her.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah. Sabine's not having a great time.
and like, she can't compartmentalize it at this point because it is all right
because
up in her
Sid's
face.
in the compartment.
Yeah. She can't pack Sid in a little box. He is across the foyer.
He's not trapped in here with her. She's trapped in here with him.
Yeah. God. Picture of Sid Illidan with the caption, "I am not trapped in here with you. You are trapped in here with me."
He's a nasty little boy.
Yep, Sabine's not doing well, is the TLDR.
The Magnificent Mansion spell. Elaborate. Negative tone tag.
I made the split-second decision to base the Magnificent Mansion spell off of Sabine's childhood home. And I don't regret it because it's good for storytelling, but
it's so sad.
It's really sad. Yeah, like, I think in a very real way the Magnificent Mansion spell is the manifestation of Sabine's desire to put what's left of her family back together.
And, like, her guilt and, like...
Yeah.
Her eldest daughter syndrome. Like, the whole thing where the entire, like, magical staff of the mansion were, like, tiny... Well, not tiny, but, like, Sabine's through the ages.
Yeah. Like, it is very much a manifestation of Sabine's guilt and of her caretaking instincts, and, like... it's bad. But, yeah, it is just a recreation of the common areas of her childhood home and the bedrooms of her siblings that are still alive, like, just waiting for them to come home.
Except there's nothing in them for the ones that are dead.
Yep, because they're not coming back.
Yep.
Yeah, like, it's very much... I don't think Sabine thought about it too extensively when she was casting the spell.
No, I think magically it's just kind of a manifestation. She was thinking somewhere safe. Like, I want to go home. Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said, I like to think of Sid as an absolute danger because he has something about him that just feels like I'll input up about warrior cats. Correct. As the person here who has read warrior cats, correct.
That is so specific.
But correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sid Brambleclaw.
Bramblefelt. I'm just thinking of the my brother and me warrior cats bit. I can't.
Sid Brambleclaw stand confirmed. You heard it here first. Sorry.
God damn it.
Okay.
But yeah, and
that
like
tangent was great.
Experiencing the Magnificent Mansion spell through Leo's narrative lens, I think was in a way interesting too, because I think there would have been a little bit more intimacy to it if we had done it as a fee scene. But like I think because we saw it through Leo's eyes, we got to see like how fundamentally private and personal all of this is, and like Sabine just has a bunch of fucking people running around in the most haunted corners of her memories now, and they can't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
And like I think it was important for us to have Leo being the one that was experiencing that and kind of having that narrative through his eyes, because like he fully did understand going into he made the decision he was not going in Sabine's room, and then felt gross about going into Florian's room and was like, wow, this is a fundamental invasion of privacy that I am not asking to do.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about this. This is very personal.
And to an extent, the creation of the rooms for her surviving siblings is an invasion of privacy from Sabine, really. It is very much a manifestation of a desire to bring everyone that she loves home and keep them safe, when, the siblings of Sabine's that we've met have demonstrated very clearly that they don't want that. And I think it is a manifestation of, the fact that...
Well, except for Colette.
We haven't talked to Colette extensively, though. Yeah, we've talked the most to Florian and Sid, and they have both been very clear they do not want to go back to the home that Sabine has in her head. It is a manifestation of her guilt, and
Well, yeah, because Florian's a grown-ass man and has his own life and his own career. And,
it is a manifestation of this thing that Sabine has internalized of her siblings are her responsibility, whether they like it or not. And I think it's very much... I think it is very sad that she has created this home for people that don't want it in her head. Or recreated this home for people that don't want it fundamentally. It is very much a look into Sabine's trauma and the fact that she has such blinders up to the fact that her siblings don't want to go home. It's very much... Her trauma is not letting her realize that, because that would be...
Yeah, she doesn't really have... she doesn't really have the theory of mind at this point. Of course they all want to come home because I want to go home.
And I think it would be, in her own head, an admission of her failure, what she sees as her failure to protect them. I think it would be fundamentally a final, admission of that failure to herself. And I think that would wreck her shit.
Yeah.
So she just can't have it.
Even though, we can see from the outside perspective that, none of these, obviously what happened was not Sabine's fault.
No,
and the fact that she trusted Defiance in that critical moment, again, given, whatever their relationship was and how many years that they had of it, to the point that Sabine trusted her with her baby brother. Yeah. The fact that Defiance fucked her over is also not Sabine's fault.
It's Defiance's fault, extremely explicitly, but but I think Sabine has internalized so much responsibility and so much guilt that she can't see that. Yeah, it's... Yeah, and also somebody in the chat said she's holding so tightly onto the ones that are still alive, she doesn't realize she's breaking skin. I adore her. She makes me cry. Yup. Yeah, I think it is a lot of fear and guilt all in kind of this swirl in her head, and she can't...
The swirling is turning into helicopter blades, and now she's just flying around her surviving siblings.
Yep.
Well, because, look at how, fucking intense she got when we first met Florian, when she like grabbed Fee and was like, he does not get involved in this. Like we are not letting him. Well, meanwhile, Florian was like, I would love to be involved in this. Like
and she made that like joking comment about my brother can take care of himself. He's just an idiot, and I'm worried about him sabotaging us. But like
that wasn't. Yeah,
I do think that was a holdover from banter from before everything happened.
Yeah.
And like I think it was her trying to make a light of a situation because again, she could not talk about her own feelings on the situation, and she hasn't been able to. Like it's the closest she got to really talking about everything was back in season 2 of Matrimony and Magpies, because she had been pushed to the fucking breaking point with her conversation with the captain and with Defiance's like very smug, like the fact that she said to someone that she had known for years and had trusted with her siblings, "You've ruined my life," and the response was, "Yeah, that's twice now."
Tough break. Yeah.
Tough break. Like, I think that was so fucked up
if Sabine did not have,
yeah.
If Sabine did not have more mental, or if Sabine had less mental fortitude than she does, I think that moment would have left her just like sobbing in a heap on the floor, which she eventually did.
Yeah.
But like her initial reaction.
Well, as soon as she and Fee got out of the situation, she just cried on Fee. Like, I think that the reason she was able to talk about as much as she was in that moment was because she had been pushed to the fucking brink by that whole situation. And then they got out of that situation and she put it right back in the box.
Because somebody's got to take care of these chuckle fucks.
Yep.
Which is why I think Sabine and Leo get along so well. Like, they both have that very, like, it's not a hypercompetence thing. You punched me.
I didn't mean to.
It's not a hypercompetence thing because I would not call Leo hypercompetent. I would call Sabine hypercompetent. Like, Leo is aware that he's a disaster. But also Leo does feel like that very deep responsibility for like, oh, this is all my problem. Like, all of these people are depending on me. Like, yeah, they both know what it's like to kind of sacrifice their own well-being in the name of being like, well, somebody has to be in charge of everything and make sure that we don't all die.
Yeah.
Which is why I think their friendship works so well. Like, if you go back to season 2, during the Sack of Pearlport, where they were having that talk about, like, survival math and stuff like that. Like,
Crisis deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why the two of them get along so well, and I think that's very much Sabine's psychology, is that, like, she got pushed to that breaking point, she let herself break down a little bit, and then she just put it all back in and just kept going, just kept trucking. Somebody in the chat said something, it all comes from Defiance. It really does for Sabine. Like that.
I mean, and Alasha.
And Alasha. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alasha.
But Sabine did not know Alasha.
Yeah. Alasha was not close to Sabine at the time.
Like, Alasha was a figure that rotated, like, pretty close in her life. Like, she knew Alasha.
Alasha was an acquaintance of her mom's, probably. Defiance was her close personal friend, at least. And someone that she was close enough to that she trusted her with her baby brother, who was the equivalent of 10 at the time. Like, that's... I think the betrayal from Alasha is something that fucks with Sabine because Sabine was so high up and because Sabine is close to Fee now. Like, I think that's where Sabine is coming from with the Alasha everything. But, like, absolutely 100%, a lot of Sabine's thought processes on everything do come back to Defiance and, like, the intimacy of that betrayal.
Yeah. And so the house is made out of trauma.
Yeah. This was a question about Magnificent Mansions.
It's like a gingerbread house, but it's made out of trauma. Yeah. And it's held together with responsibility.
And guilt.
And bad coping mechanisms.
Just trauma bricks slapped together with some guilt. Just put that shit right on there.
What would you have done if Zed had died then and there? Like, just How fucked up would that be? We wouldn't be making the podcast anymore. I would have quit.
I would be dead.
Dead ass. I would have quit. Al would be dead. I would be in prison. I was really scared that it was going to happen when he took that first crit. I was like, oh my god! Like, we knew.
I had diamonds that Leo could use to cast Revivify in the crypt. I had fail safes planned as a dungeon master. Like, I had things planned. Zed would not have been permadead unless Leo also died, which would have been unfortunate. Which was
a possibility considering how low his hit points were after getting screwed over by the dungeon crawl. Like, that was, we knew that this was going to be a deadly encounter going in. Like, we looked at the balance on D&D Beyond and everything, and it was like, hey, like, it was literally like, hey, this is a deadly encounter. Are you sure you want to do this? And then we clicked start encounter, and I was like, okay, here we go. And then Zed got crit on in the first round.
I didn't expect him to get crit on. All right. Leo had heals. In my head, I was like, yeah, this will be fine. Leo has heals. There are diamonds in the crypt. Zed can soak up a lot of damage because he'll have full health going in. Like, in my head, I was like, yeah, this will be fine. And it was fine. But, like, I did have
It got a little scary there at the end, but yeah.
What's life without risk?
I think Leo was down to, 5 hit points at the end?
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
There were diamonds in the crypt.
Zed was never going to die. Yeah.
Zed has good medicine modifiers, so he could have gotten Leo back up. Like it was very
Zed
much...
also has that half orc thing that when you go below 0 hit points for the first time, if you go below 0 hit points, no, you didn't. Like, yeah.
It would have been fine.
Hello, focus on the camera. There we go. It's because your face is hidden behind the mic arm. Scoot over.
I'm trying my best. Oh, goodness. But yeah, Zed would not have stayed permadead. I was very careful as a DM.
But boy, howdy, did we get our shit rocked.
Oh, goodness. The podcast has a happy ending. Leo's at endgame. Zed would not have stayed permadead.
Number one, just because, of what that would have done to Leah. No.
Yeah,
that would have been Leo.exe has stopped functioning forever.
Yeah, that would have been
Leo would sit and stare at a wall for the rest of his fucking life and not say anything ever. It would be bad. So, it's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. Oh, goodness. But yeah, he wouldn't have been permadead. There was no chance of that happening.
He could have died for a little bit, though, and he almost did.
Yeah,
Except
he could have needed a Revivify.
I am so glad I had heal prepped. That was a spell that I just got, and I was going back and forth between harm and heal when I prepped my spell sheet.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, because I didn't know the extent of the combat or the dungeon crawl because Al didn't share their notes with me. So I was like, oh, it depends on how bad this dungeon fucks us up. I might need to break off heal on somebody. So I'm glad I had it.
And if you'd gotten fucked up enough by the dungeon crawl, because there was a lot of stuff in the dungeon crawl that we didn't get to, because I didn't expect him to just go up to the top of the tower. I had traps in the rooms.
Because I also didn't tell Al about my plan. Yeah.
But yeah, if there had been enough damage taken, then I would have had Mia stay for the fight. And Adana would have just gone. Or vice versa. Either way. Somebody in the chat said
Mia's harder to kill.
Somebody in the chat said Zed has plot immunity. Come on. Yeah, okay. Stakes are good in a story. It is good to have stakes and consequences. But also, we don't want to... We've established we want the podcast to have a happy ending. We want Leo Zed to get a happy ending. Yeah, Zed has plot immunity. And I'm not sorry about it.
I mean, just in the same way that, Leo and Fee have plot immunity, because if one of them dies, our story's over.
Exactly. But also, it's Zed, said the chat. Yeah, but also it's Zed. Nobody can kill Zed. He's too charismatic.
He's too hot to die.
Yeah, he's too hot to die. He's too fun. That's in universe.
Said Stonebloom in a pair of booty shorts with God Won't Let Me Die on the ass.
Fuck. Yeah. Oh, jeez. One of our questions was talk about the crown and the crown symbolism. I'm begging.
It's Leo's last magic item.
Yeah.
Fee already has all 3 of hers. So,
Fee got her 3rd magic item way back in season 2, and I was just waiting to pull the trigger on Leo's 3rd one.
Yeah, because Leo now has the knife, the bracer, and the circlet.
Yes.
And then Fee has the orb, the shield, and the cape.
Yes.
Like, the orb and the shield are kind of one item now, because she put the orb
but
and
also
the shield.
the knife and the bracer are one item,
The bracer leveled up the knife and the shield leveled up the orb. Yeah.
Exactly. But we wanted to have our main magic items and then 2 accessory ones. So Leo's 2nd accessory item was the circlet, because it just takes the abilities that Leo already has and just enhances them a little bit.
Leo is mechanically built to be a killing machine, and now he just can crit way easier.
Yeah. And also, now that we're here, we can talk about the fact that Leo's magic items were themed around making him a killing machine because of the Kimmerl connection. Because Kimmerl is a god of intentional death, and because of the Alander parallel and all that. And Fee's magic items are themed around making her extremely lucky, because Kiva is a deity so centered around fate. So, very excited about that.
You said Kimmerl connection, and now I just have in my head Flesh Boy Kimmerl singing Kermit the Frog, one day we'll find it. The Kimmerl connection.
Were it not for the laws of this land, I would have slaughtered you by now.
Oh my god.
Alright. But yeah,
and the idea of calling it, I think I was the one that came up with the idea of calling it the Circlet of Consequence,
right? Because of some line that Lander had in.
About showing justice the consequences.
Yeah. In Death Note's Part 2. Yeah.
And we liked the design of it. By the way, feel free to use any of our magic items in your home games. If you think they're cool,
if you want,
if you like them, go for it.
We'll probably post full stat blocks of them, and full descriptions of them at the end of the campaign.
Yeah,
along with all of our character sheets. We'll see.
But the cool thing about the Circlet of Consequence that I really liked was that in a game like D&D that doesn't really give you a lot of opportunities to fail forward, it gives you an opportunity to fail forward. It only becomes powerful when you fuck up. Yeah. Because you have to miss on an ability check or an attack roll to bring your crit level down.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've been meaning to ask you that. So if I crit on an 8, say I crit on a 15, I fail enough that I crit on a 15, and I need to roll an ability check, a perception check or something, and I roll a 15 or a 16. Does that, by critting on that, because crits don't count on ability checks, do we just treat that 15 like a nat 20?
I was going to go with, because we haven't had it come up yet, I was going to go with just not counting it for ability checks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's it's a crit, it's a crit. So if you make an attack
in combat,
it counts.
Yeah. Oh god, if I fuck up enough ability checks, I can roll a 2 and fucking behead somebody.
Yep. Exactly. But yeah.
Leo,
how your dice have been lately, it's a good time to have it.
Yeah, Leo fucks up a dungeon crawl really bad and just one-shots Moreland, no scope, from across the battlefield with a natural 2.
Oh no. Yeah. And it was a crown because of a lot of the symbolism around, first of all, Leo and Moreland as narrative foils, because Moreland's spellcasting focus is his circlet, and also themed around the fact that so much of Leo's character arc throughout the entire show has been reckoning with the birthright that he felt entitled to, and what that really means, and what he is responsible for fixing because of it. and like it very much was intended to both reinforce that narrative foil and also hammer home that specific aspect of Leo's arc
by giving him a crown that he doesn't want. And and it's representative of
and also the fact that he took the crown directly from Elander, and like he is going to have to fix mistakes that started with Elander. Like it is very much bringing it all full circle. By the way, the canon design for the circlet is on our season 3 cover art.
That's the circlet that Leo's wearing in the cover art for season 3.
Yeah, I very intentionally, I was looking at the image of the cover art when I described it, because we let our cover artists just go wild. And then,
we told Fair about the
we did
the circlet because we said like we want them with all of their magic items in the season 3 cover art, which like fucking incredible artistry. To be able to get all of that stuff in there and make it look as good as it does, like
Aries is fucking impressive. Follow at the last Bastion on Twitter. Aries Jimenez is like unto a god. And also our friend.
And also our very good...
And also our friend.
Our good friend, yeah.
And also our friend, but also just a fantastic artist that may have commissions open for me. Oh, goodness. But yeah, it was a crown because of bringing that symbolism full circle, and it was a crown that he specifically took from Elander because of the culmination of that arc.
I do love the idea of Leo just gleefully grave robbing his
That was good. That was good.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, Grandma, is this your ring? It's mine now, bitch.
I am morally and ethically opposed to grave robbing.
Except in this one circumstance.
But the Valside monarchs have all deserved it. They've had it coming.
Leo robbed every skull in that place except for Valoran's. Absolutely. Just robbed him.
God, that's not grave robbing, that's wealth redistribution. At least it will be. God.
Something, our circlet.
I do think, I don't know if we're going to have time to mention it in the epilogue, but I do think every single thing of value in that crypt is getting melted down and given to somebody else. Because, God... Just an extravagant piece of fucking political theater for no one. It's yucky. Rich people bad. Our next question was, what was Sid doing to help them? Breaking into the tower. My brain
Literally,
is
he
small.
just left the door unlocked.
He left the door unlocked, and also a lot of the defenses of the tower are explicitly tied to Sid. We saw last episode that the trap on the door, like that made a hold person spell come up. It's a glyph of warding, and it's one that Sid has to cast. And that he has to, if it is triggered, alert other people, and someone else high level has to cast it if he doesn't have the spell slots. Like it's a whole fail-safe of security that is centered on Sid.
So why did I set off that alarm spell then?
Well, the alarm spell was on the crypt, not on the tower. The alarm spell was not, the alarm spell was something different. And
I guess Sid, like you, didn't think that we were going to go all the way up to the top.
That's true. Sid didn't think you were going to go in the crypt, and also, like, Sid is connected to the defenses on the tower. I think the crypt it rotates responsibility. Like, the specific defenses on the tower itself, on, like, the living areas of the tower, are explicitly centered on Sid, and what he was doing... What he was doing to help them out was just letting them in.
Yeah, but he didn't think to, get rid of the poison darts.
No.
What a little
Honestly,
shithead.
I think Sid put those in.
Just for fun.
Just as a little prank.
I'm gonna...
Just to Kevin McAllister, one of his cardinals.
Punk ass. Oh.
Sid setting up little marble traps in the holes.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, okay, naturally, so since I didn't go in any of the rooms, I missed the one where I opened the door and a paint can swings down from the ceiling on a rope.
You joke, but one of the traps that I put in the dungeon crawl was a collapsing ceiling.
Happy solstice, you filthy animal.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't think the tower is full. I think the empty rooms of the tower where no one lives are just trapped all to hell.
Because Sid gets bored.
Because Sid gets bored.
He's got to do something in between.
Sid can't go anywhere else
yeah.
unless it's unofficial church business. He's 15. He's bored. He's Kevin McAllister at the place. What are people gonna do? Ground him? He's the Hierophant. Somebody in the chat said this kid kills me. Yeah.
You're not the only one.
What are they gonna do? Yeah. Stop. What are they gonna do? Send him to bed without supper? He's the voice of Kimmerl, motherfucker. So did Chat just said, excuse you. Yeah, excuse you.
He kills you. Yeah, you're not the only person he... Sorry. I'm sorry. That was in bad taste.
Jail.
But yeah, Sid unlocked the door. Sid unlocked the door
and didn't tell anybody that they had tripped off the hold person spell, and didn't put down another hold person spell.
And did his best to act like he didn't know what was going on. Oh no. Intruders.
Yeah. Like, Sid can't act directly against the sanctity of the church, but he can passively leave the door open and just happen to not tell anybody that people are planning a raid on the tower. Like, that's what he was doing. He
was helping by omission.
Yeah. He functions as Sid's presence makes every other priest in that tower feel like they are secure and safe. And Sid has not disabused them of this notion, even though he fucking hates all of them. So the culmination of Sid lying to these people's faces for his entire tenure as Kid Pope and leaving the door open is what he did.
How could this have happened? Fly, you fools!
Fly, you fools! Yeah, like, that's what Sid did. He lied that he didn't hate all of these people specifically for 20 years. And he left the door open.
And you know what? Good for him.
And good for him. God.
Say things about Leo Zed.
Oh, so true. So true. Talk about Leo Zed. Go.
I love them. They're precious to me.
Yeah. Battle boyfriends.
Battle boyfriends. I was not thinking of it in the moment, but the fact that the end of that combat came down to, like, I was that close. When I tell you, like, Al and I had a big conversation off mic about, like, I was like, I'm going to cast Life Transference. Like, yeah, it's going to knock me out, but it's not going to kill me, and Zed will get back twice that amount of hit points, and he'll be able to stay up another round and take this thing down. And Al was like, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to do that?
And when I say, are you sure you want to do that, that means don't do that.
Yeah.
Barry knows this.
And I was like, oh, God, okay. And then I didn't have anything else to do that could, like, buff. Like, I had a bless, but, like, that... Well, no, because I couldn't drop concentration, because I had concentration on something else, so I couldn't even...
No, you had dropped concentration on
the Cloud Kill, yeah. But, like, even doing a bless wouldn't have really done enough to help either of us, so I was like, fuck, like, I've just got to Hail Mary it and do a Guiding Bolt and hope that it hits. Like, that's the only thing I can do other than knock myself out. And I think it's very good for character reasons, the fact that Leo almost chose self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
And then chose instead to trust and support his boyfriend, and then they fucking won.
And they fucking won. I believe in the power of gay love.
Yeah.
I believe.
They 2v1'd a monster that, by all rights, could have murked both of them if Al had not, like, you were pulling punches on the Death Knight a little bit. Like, it had the giant fireball thing.
Yeah, I didn't cast the giant fireball thing. I didn't use some of the magic that the Death Knight had. Oh, goodness. But also, I had a reason for that. I didn't think the Death Knight, in the parameters of its enchantment, would be allowed to damage the crypt. Like, that was the reason for that. But anyway.
But yeah, like, that thing could have fucking murked us, and we defeated it through the power of gay love. And I think that that's great.
Leo said is good, actually.
Yeah. OTP.
Leo said is good.
OTP, go get him, honey.
Yeah. I love them. Somebody in chat said, I adore them so bad. Beloveds. Yeah.
God, and the fact that Adana just keeps messing with them with the fucking percentages is so funny.
I think, we're not going to establish this in podcast, but I think straight up, Adana didn't do a new calculation on their odds. She was just fucking with them. I think that 86% was right out of the air. I think she just plucked out a number just to mess with them.
She's a problem and we love her.
Adana mom moment, but like derogatory. God. I will say that, like, word of God, I do think she was just fucking with them. We will not establish it in episode. But
Adana Valsine has 77 years of not being able to embarrass her son. By God, she is going to make up for lost time.
Yeah. She's going to do it now. No one can stop her. Oh, God, someone please stop her.
But also don't.
And then our last question from our patrons was to talk about Sid and the extensions, which I assume you mean like the end of the Q&A, because God.
So, I was gonna say, like,
true.
Sid and extensions, like, yeah, he has like the raccoon stripes, like the scene hair, for sure, like the clip-in ones that you would get at Hot Topic in like 2004.
I'm reining in the feeling.
Do you feel violent? Do you feel like, do you want to hurt me? Do you want to hurt me, Al?
Somebody in chat said Adana coming back to cause problems. I'm absolutely obsessed with her. Yeah. Yeah, I love Adana.
That's all she's here to do. She's here to fuck shit up. Yeah. That's all she's here to do.
Open question. Oh, we went long on all of our questions. Yeah. Open question time. 5 minutes. It's okay. Somebody in the chat said the Scene Kids Sid design extends. I'm just saying.
Yeah, fun thing about open question time for our last 3 minutes. Whoops. But yeah, the fun thing about Adana is that she has multiclassed into a Gloomstalker Ranger. Her favorite enemy is her ex-husband.
Yeah.
Well, her husband. They're not divorced. Yeah.
They're not divorced.
It's, you know how that was fun and cool and sexy with the captain and Sabine? No.
It's the derogatory version.
It's the derogatory version.
Oh, God.
Her favorite enemy is, I had to put, like, her favorite enemy is humanoids in there, but I was like, her favorite enemy is her husband.
Her favorite enemy is Morlun. We have not used Adana's favorite enemy features on any of the priests so far. She has not used it on anybody. She is exclusively, her favorite enemy is Morlun Valsine.
She's waiting.
And she's right. Oh, goodness. Get his ass. She deserves it. But yeah, the fact that we got her back and immediately she started embarrassing Leo is something that is so precious to me.
Thinking about the favorite enemy thing. Well, you know how, like, in the PHB, like, it says, you know, things about, like, oh, your favorite enemy, like, you know, you get that mechanical advantage because you spent so much time, like, studying your favorite enemy or whatever. And I just can't stop thinking of her sharpening a knife in the dark, going, I know you're lactose intolerant, motherfucker.
Fuck. Somebody in chat said, what does the favorite enemy feature mean? Oh, it's a thing that Rangers get. So the thing with Rangers is they get the favorite enemy feature, which is just a type of creature that they know very well and can hunt very effectively.
Yeah, like, you get advantages to tracking it, you get advantages, like, and you can pick types. You can pick, like, beasts, humanoids, elementals, fiends,
celestials.
Yeah, like, you can pick pretty much whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get, like, advantages to hit them, you get advantages to track them, like, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, it's something that you're really, really good at killing. And Adana's is her husband.
Adana sharpening a knife
And
in the
she's
dark.
right.
I know you're lactose intolerant, motherfucker. One of these days, some milk's gonna find its way into your tea, and then my knife's gonna find its way into your back.
Oh no. Sharpening her knife like I know you got a trick shoulder. Getcha.
When I come out of the trees at you, I'll make sure to get you on your left side.
No. Somebody said Adana in the dark, wondering how she could put that tasteless milk power in his drinks, please. Oh God.
And with that,
that's it
check
for next week.
the
Check the
content
content
warnings.
warnings for next week. Oh God.
It's gonna be fucked up. Please
check them. It's a lot. Check them. Check them before you listen to the episode. Check them.
Also, we're so sorry.
We're sorry about the length.
But please
check the content warnings. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.